Hello friends, my name is Doll and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a story from r/relationship advice. This particular story is by T.A. Ghosty. My 30 male wedding is 22 days away. I have been no contact with my dad's wife, both 60s, because she refused to apologize. He just told me he's not coming. How can I salvage this? This is a bit long, so bear with me. My stepmom, Diana, is a narcissist. She has been a bully to my sister, 20 female, and me since they got together 18 years ago, and my dad has only enabled her. It's 100% an abusive relationship. She's extremely controlling and a bully to him as well. 2 years ago on my birthday, she brought up something traumatic she did to me years before and bragged about it to say the abuse is the reason I'm successful. I was pissed and worked with my psychiatrist to write a letter explaining my hurt and telling her that while I want a relationship with her, I will need an apology to move forward. She sent a letter back blaming me for a bunch of stuff when I was a kid to justify her abuse and refusing to apologize. My response was, I'm sorry, I can't have a relationship if you don't respect me enough to apologize. My email inbox is open should you choose to apologize. But this is a hard boundary. Do not call, text, etc. Since then, the only communication has been her attempts to ambush me by picking up my dad's phone when I call him, leaving me aggressive voicemails and texts, or having my dad pressure me to meet her in person. I suffer from anxiety, and directly contact with her would only trigger an attack. About a month ago, she stole my dad's phone, went through our private conversation, and texted me from his phone. My dad, understandably pissed, said he wanted a divorce. And that same day, she finally did email one sentence. I am sorry for hurting your feelings on your birthday. I responded also with one line. I appreciate the apology. Then, nada again. From either of them. My dad left town to get some space. As I mentioned, my wedding is in 22 days. My dad emailed me 2 days ago with a long insulting letter. Too much to type out, but the highlights are, boundaries are rude and I'm selfish. My psychiatrist is a joke. Diana has been punched enough, so get over it. How dare I only send one line back to Diana's email? Lol. Diana is the real victim, and how dare I not invite his wife to my wedding? Plus the exact sentence, obviously, I'm not coming to your wedding. To be clear, I've heard most of these brought up over the past 2 years and have addressed them with him, but he just dismisses me as being angry and vindictive. Basically, as usual, he just wants me to just make peace at the expense of my mental health while never holding Diana accountable. I'm in a healthy headspace thanks to my psychiatrist and incredible fiance. I know that my boundary is healthy and no amount of guilt tripping will make me feel bad about setting it, but how can I respond? Despite my intense anger over the letter, I still want him, not her, at my wedding. I love my dad and I'm so sad that one simple boundary is apparently enough to end our relationship. ETA, I feel like the letter was a trap. Either I cave to her and they both come, or I tell him no and it proves all they say about me and justifies him not coming. Edit 2. The letter wasn't sent by Diana. Although it has her fingerprints all over it, my sister confirmed my dad did. She's on team make peace, it's tearing dad apart. That deserves another post. Edit 3. One thing I didn't mention in the letter, he said he doesn't want to come because how am I supposed to explain why my wife isn't there? Well, how am I supposed to explain he isn't there? It's mind-boggling. Edit 4. For some reason, a lot of people think I'm a woman. The post says 30 male, but they're giving my fiancé a good laugh with it. TLDR, dad won't come to my wedding due to attempt to hold stepmom accountable. And setting out the boundary. How can I respond to getting to come? So, looking over the story and everything, if I had to be honest, I think it's best that you just don't bother with your father at this point and expect him to come to the wedding, because you should not have to sacrifice your mental health to accommodate someone who is clearly extremely abusive, and then also accommodate their enabler in the process, who is not going to have your back for a single second. That's not healthy, and frankly, that's not what a parent should be trying to do in the first place. So, and here's the thing, I also understand that your father is also a victim of abuse. But if a person doesn't want to be helped or doesn't realize how heavy their situation is, the most you can do is just leave them be, but also be ready to catch them if they end up falling. That's the most you can do. Aside from that, there's not much you can really do about this situation concerning your father. And overall, I think you should just let him do what he wants to do and don't even trouble yourself with that at that point. Otherwise, you're just going to have a raging headache and you're going to be setting yourself up for a lot of pain in the future. You don't have to cut him off or anything, but just don't sit there and bend over backwards just to accommodate the two of them. It's not worth it. And I know this also means that you'll have to deal with him not being at your wedding, but at that point, you gotta think for a second, what's more important? Your mental health and well-being, or having your enabler at your wedding? So those are pretty much my thoughts on the situation. And there also is an update to this story, so let's get right into this and see how the story ends. Hi everyone, I got some incredible insight on my last post, albeit with some hard truths I didn't want to accept. Thanks to everyone, especially those who shared stories that were very close to mine. It really helped me understand, so I wanted to update everything who may be wondering the fallout of this. This will likely be my only update unless something dramatic happens. The fun update is, I got married! My wife, still crazy to say, and I are so happy, and our wedding was the best day, full of the family and friends who love us the most. It was so incredible and full of memories we will cherish together forever. The not fun update is as long as there's a lot that happened. Well, I sent back a response to my dad's original letters shortly after posting. I had a lot to say, but I kept it brief on the advice of some. Full text. I'm very hurt that you have chosen not to attend my wedding. However, I'm not surprised that you've once again chosen to appease Diana's whims over my needs, happiness, and mental health, as you've done for nearly 2 decades. It's honestly shocking that one simple boundary and one need for an apology from her is apparently enough to end your and my relationship, and I respect your choice. We are not inviting drama, dismissiveness, bullying, or manipulation, and we are certainly not going to tolerate anyone who uses our wedding as an opportunity to blackmail us into accepting any of those. That has no place at our wedding and frankly in our lives at all. I never got a response, however he did call my mom, who was awesome by the way, and said the same crap he said in the email from the previous post, which she shut down. She astutely realized he was trying to manipulate her into getting me to let Diana come to the wedding. He also had the nerve to say how important his vows were and doubled down on his wife being more important. The kicker is, he cheated on my mom while they were married, so I'm not sure why he thought that was smart to say to her. My mom ended with, nothing would keep me away from my child's wedding, and asked him how attending would possibly change his relationship with Diana. He didn't have an answer. I then sent a quick write-up to family and friends, basically stating that he won't be there, and to please not bring it up on the wedding day. Most people were understanding and supportive, but it turned out 2 of my aunts, his sisters, suddenly couldn't make it, while my cousin told me my aunts decided not to come in solidarity. So while I was deciding what to do and trying not to get others involved, my dad and Diana decided it was better to use that time to poison my family against me. After all of his talk about not putting people in the middle in his letter, he should have had no problem getting his siblings to boycott my wedding. My cousins were awesome though, and we had an excellent chance to reconnect about this type of bullshit from our parents and bond. 2 days before the wedding, my dad sent me another email titled, I come in peace. In it, he confirmed he won't come, but said, it saddens me to the depth of my soul, and that he wishes there was a way to mend the family other than, I guess, attending my wedding? Then he wished me well and to enjoy my wedding because of how wonderful and important weddings are. Lol. The way it was written made it seem like he wanted to come, but couldn't due to extenuating circumstances, which pisses me off. At the time of the wedding, he was sitting at home 30 minutes away, too much of a coward to show up. I waited until after the honeymoon to decide whether to respond. After talking with my therapist, I realized I did want to respond. because I don't think he understood what missing my wedding meant, and I wanted to make it clear. In it, I said this email was nothing but a self-serving, disingenuous attempt to alleviate his own guilt for skipping it, and that there is no healing from this. Then I said to not contact me again. Fast forward to last week. I got a letter in the mail, no return address, and it was a bunch of letters between us when I was a child, and a piece of paper that said happy birthday, don't throw away, your birth certificate and social security card are inside. So I guess that's that. He wiped his hands of me, but not before going for a last attempt at a guilt trip. I have been working with my therapist of the hurt, anger, and sadness I'm dealing with from being abandoned by my father. I've been very depressed. I'm grieving a loss because I didn't want it to end this way, but he has made his choices. However, I'm thankful to have a great therapist and incredible support from my wife, mom, and friends. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you to everyone for your comments and support, and thanks to my incredible wife for being by my side through everything. TLDR, as was predicted, my dad didn't come to the wedding. Chose a narcissist over his child, got his siblings not to come in solidarity. This is unforgivable, and I'm going no contact. OP, I'm really glad that the wedding went well, and that you had a lot of support from the people you cared about, especially your mother. It's really unfortunate that your father pretty much abandoned you, but at the same time, I think that, at least in my own mind and thoughts, that he already abandoned you the moment he started enabling your abuser and not having your back when she was pulling that kind of crap with you, and then just simmering in it and making it worse. That's terrible, and that's not what a father should be doing in the first place. He should have had your back from the very beginning, and he didn't. So, in all honesty, I think it's good riddance to him, because you deserve better. You deserve a parent that loves and cares about you and is going to have your back. I hope for all the best for you, OP, because you deserve better. You deserve to have support in your life that you rightfully deserve. With that said and done, I hope you all enjoyed this story and that you have a great rest of your day.